Good evening, my friends, and welcome to episode 1 of our blind playthrough of Firmament. If you are a long-time viewer of this channel, you'll know we're a big fan of Myst-like games. We've played through Myst, we've played through Riven, we've played through Myst 3, Myst 4. We're halfway through Uru, although we're saving the rest of that for stream, and we've played through Obduction. Firmament is the next one on our list, and the most recent game that Cyan have released, excluding, of course, the Riven remake. And it is definitely their most mixed received game that they've ever put out. Is the hate warranted? Well, I guess we're gonna find out. But we love our myst-likes on this channel, so can't be that bad, can it? Let's jump in. It's a blind playthrough. So, full disclosure, whilst this is a blind playthrough, I have heard some snippets here and there about this. Particularly, I know that there's one puzzle simply called The Crane that has the most, let's say, controversial things said about it. So we're going to be keeping an eye out for that crane, whatever that is. But other than that, I don't really know terribly much about Firmament, to be honest. Oh, you were awakened in the bunker. Achievement unlocked.
So,
ooh.
Here we are. Finally.
Mm-hmm.
Your first breath, and I have taken my last. But who cares, right? There's so much to be done. I'm dead, but you have so much to learn.
Here, it's explained in my journal.
I once woke up just as you have. A blank mind, a clean canvas. Confused, yes, but I will teach you, just as I was taught. And so, first lesson, you are a keeper.
Nice.
I was a keeper. We were all keepers.
That's what my wife says about me.
Second lesson. I will lie to you. I learned much later that this is the way to keep the realms. And third lesson, this machine is your adjunct, your tool to learn and to keep the realms. Take it and we will begin.
Okay.
Firmament. It is remarkable that we are here.
Right. First thing I have to do is adjust the sensitivity on the mouse. Be right back. Okay, that's much more reasonable there. So, we are tabula rasa, as they say. Pick up adjunct. So, rule number 1, we are a keeper. Point number 2, she's going to lie to us. Something about something the realms. Rule number 3, shoot, I've forgotten what rule number 3 already was. But, thankfully, we have a recording that we can go back to and review. So we've just woken up in a little steampunk cryopod. So I've recently been re-watching all of the Alien movies, right? And we just watched Alien Romulus very recently. This is very kind of... David? David? Personal maintenance adjunct. Introduction. As a newly awakened keeper of the Firmament mission, you have been assigned a personal maintenance adjunct, which can be informally referred to as the adjunct. The adjunct is a miracle of modern mechanical and electronics, augmenting the keeper's abilities in marvellous ways. Your tasks whilst keeping would normally require keys, tools, and extreme strength to both access and control the various aspects of the realms. The adjunct serves as both a key and a tool and amplifies your abilities. It can access approved areas of the realm, and it can control the equipment and devices, both large and small, that you will use regularly. Sockets. Your adjunct is designed to interface with a socket, a receiving component which the adjunct can attach to, giving the keeper access and control. These sockets are ubiquitous in the realms, and although they may appear physically similar to each other, they provide vastly diverse abilities. An adjunct can be propelled to a socket both close and far, providing for control from a distance. A communicating leash or tether provides for constant control and feedback while your adjunct is socketed. Operation. I'm being interrupted by a loudspeaker. Operation. To operate the adjunct, first place the adjunct gauntlet on your hand. You can then direct and propel the forward element at the desired socket. With the forward element firmly socketed, you can activate and control the equipment. The specific aspects of the equipment are viewed by the keeper through a view veil on the gauntlet. Twisting the gauntlet left or right will activate the specific controls available. Some sockets and equipment have more than a single method of operation. You can switch to these additional modes to control them as well. Augmentations. Starting adjuncts have only basic abilities, but as keepers advance in their training, the adjunct can be augmented with additional capabilities. These augmentations will be provided in the Arch as part of the advancement ceremony. So amplified force, adjunct can apply greater force or torque. Distance extension, adjunct can be propelled to double the distance. Concatenated socketing, adjuncts can chain from one socket to another socket. Display, the adjunct will supply a display when socketed with specific information about the functionality of the socket. The upgrade status is also available at any time on the display. Conclusion. Please respect your assigned adjunct. Use it cautiously so as not to harm yourself or others. Future augmentations may provide for additional abilities. Your mentor can answer any other questions you may have. Keep the realms for all. Okay. Escape is put away book. Okay. Hold will aim adjunct. And release will drop the adjunct. Pew pew! So we do have a little aim and reticule. Unlike the Riven Hand, it's very subtle what you can interact with, but thankfully not quite as slow as the Myst 4 finger. You know what I mean? Now, we only really came into the Myst games in 2023, right? I played Myst for the first time in 2023, so we're definitely playing these without the nostalgic element of them. But do you know what? Oh, they hold up so well. Hold down the left mouse button to aim the adjunct. Whilst aiming at this socket, release the left mouse button. Click the Q or E keys to select the action of the socket. Oh, I see. Now in VR, you'd be twisting your hand, I guess, would you? But yes, no, we're not really playing in VR at the moment. I do have a VR, but I'm not really playing it at the moment because, frankly, and this is more of a function of getting old, these first-person games are bad enough for my motion sickness on their own without strapping a screen to my face. And genuinely, that is just a question of getting old. Someone's been dragging things through this room. Box, nothing. Wardrobe, not of interest. Desk. That's the same book that was in the other room. Okay, we can hear something through here. Pachoo! Open. Thank you. So we can close doors behind us. Handy. Raise or lower? Bunker raiser. Raised the starting bunker. Well, that's all very well and good, of course. Is there more? If Rem has taught me anything, it's also that we should check that there's nothing below us as well. No. It gives a very clear dun-dun. Dun-dun. Okay. Ooh.
It's beautiful, no?
Oh, hello.
The majesty and peace of the ice and stone. I didn't emerge from the threshold here as you did.
Do we believe there's guardrails?
My first journey to this realm? Oh, I remember it like it was yesterday.
Okay, I gotta check it, right? Hang on, let's save the game first, hang on a minute. Okay, because we're not doing that introduction again. Ah, no, okay. There's a guardrail. I would have thought it would be really strange for this to be the first Cyan game that literally lets you yeet yourself off the edge if you're not very good at platforming. And you know what? Pressing space seems to indicate to me that there isn't even a jump, and there appears not to be a crouch either, which is very much appreciated. I remember in Quern, I assume Quern uses a standard first-person player controller. Press the escape button on your keyboard to open the menu. Good to know. Because you can do things like jump, even though none of the puzzles require any platforming.
Small stinging all over. It's normal. And your hearing, maybe only the alarms, or your own heartbeat. Now, these effects will cease in time, as your body becomes accustomed to the heat. We will have these problems when we emerge from the threshold. You will live, and that is a good thing.
Okay, and the hearing the ghosts, is that also a normal thing? So this is a little bit like Moon, is it? Oh, do you know what, actually? Mickey 17. Is it Mickey 17? The Robert Pattinson one, the Rob Battenbat one. So hyped to watch that.
The adjunct is making sense to you?
Yeah, it's
if
fine.
If not, no worries. It will soon be as natural as your hand. Keep trying.
Cool.
And this one-sided prose is strange, is it not?
No, that's fine. I can talk to you. It's just you can't hear me.
I feel like a performer. But this is where we are.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a touch on the odd side because I suppose canonically she's not supposed to be able to hear our character. I suppose.
I had a most wonderful mentor. She taught me of these realms. I will teach you. But then Turner arrived also.
Turner?
And, well, he first taught me beyond these realms. I will teach you that as well.
So realms are like legally distinct ages, I suppose, but like different IP, I guess. I don't know. And the realms could literally be anything, I suppose. I'm assuming it's going to be some kind of reality hopping, though. Similarly to Ages in Myst. So, Turner. Turner is a person of interest. Okay. We got the adjunct. We can't raise. We can't lower. Because it's blocked. Oh, we have a ladder here, though. Excellent. Glad to see that, you know, we're starting to make ladders look a bit more like ladders. But yeah, Mickey 17. We understand. Mickey 17.
So,
oh, no.
This realm is the source of our water. And you will learn what must be done by doing all that we did. And I will help, but I will not hold your hand. Is it better to learn by contemplating, failing, hopefully understanding? We thought we understood.
I mean, if some sockets have multiple modes, use the mouse wheel or tab to switch these modes. So we can do lower, raise, backwards and forwards. Okay. Probably just raise, I thought. Just get it out the way. Tell you what though, we could probably use it over there, do you reckon? Yeah, go on. Go over there, because that looks like something where we're going to be able to use it. Okay. Cool. Yeah, so as someone with 2 young kids, going out to the movies is a real treat, right? The last movie we went, you know, because like to get a babysitter, you're basically looking at, now I mean, movie tickets in the UK are incredibly cheap, you know, because, well, as an industry, let's be honest, it's not doing that great by all accounts. Wait a minute. That's only half the bridge. Well, that's a problem. So maybe we do actually need it over there. Okay, right. Let's move this out of the way again. So movie tickets themselves, incredibly cheap. Getting a babysitter for a couple of hours, very expensive. So, like, basically, 2 tickets for my wife and I, plus the babysitter for, say, 3 hours. It's going to be 4 hours if we want to get, like, a KFC or something, you know, before or after the movie. You're looking at, basically, a movie, going out to the movies, that's going to be around about, like, 60, 70 pounds, something like that. So, real treat, real treat. The last movie we went to see in the cinema was Dune Part 2. Totally worth it. Amazing film. Big fan of Dune. Oh, look! There's blocks of ice down there. Mickey 17. That is one that I would consider in a similar vein, right? Now, the director, who, unfortunately, their name escapes me somewhat. Put this down here. It's the same director, of course, that did Parasite, Snowpiercer, Okja, which is a really great movie. I really enjoyed Okja. Now hang on, if I just leave that there, is that enough for me to be able to walk over that? And I think his body of work is just really interesting, and I know that Mickey 17, like a lot of the premise of the movie, you know, it kind of looks like a lot of the premise of the movie has been spoiled in the trailers, but if if his other movies are anything to go by, it really hasn't. There's going to be... I would be willing to bet money that there's going to be more to Mickey 17 than has been released in the trailers so far, right? And I'm really looking forward to seeing that one. Now cue all of the people who are coming to watch this episode from a few weeks in the future after the movie has come out to tell me that, nah, it's actually like a thoroughly mid film. Which, who knows, like maybe it will turn out to be the case. I don't know. Right, I think we go back up here and try and take this block back the other way. But yeah, I'm really excited to see it. So, come all the way up here, please. But yeah, if you've not seen Okja, I mean, I imagine most people will have seen Parasite by now. I mean, if you haven't seen Parasite by now, like, definitely. Snowpiercer ended up actually being popular enough to get its own Netflix series. I never watched the Netflix show. Partly because I kind of feel like the Snowpiercer movie kind of said what it needed to say. But if you're a fan of the Snowpiercer show, let me know what you thought of it. No, well, that's a bit of a truism, isn't it? If you're a fan of the Snowpiercer show, let me know what I'm missing out on, I guess. Well, that's annoying, isn't it? Why has this bridge lowered itself? Well, that's no good. Now I'm going to need to use... Okay. Maybe I should just get to the other side of this thing, throw the bridge out there, and then just, like... just move on before I try and start second-guessing these other puzzles. Okay. Come back. Come back. I don't know. Is the bridge on, like, a timer or something? It didn't... I don't know, well, maybe it needed to move down to accommodate the thing. Okay, don't even worry about it, guys. Don't even worry about it. It's about the journey, not the destination, right? Of course. Yeah, if I plonk this one around about there, then let's get back down the ladder. Okay, back round this way, yes. The ice block is all lined up, that's handy. But yeah, so yeah, I imagine you've all seen Parasite, Snowpiercer, Okja, that's one of his more obscure ones. I really liked Okja because the ending is very much kind of like... Okay, spoiler alert for the ending, but the ending is very much kind of like nothing really happened. It's a very personal ending. It's very much kind of like
Isn't it breathtaking? The arches of the firmaments, so inspiring and reassuring. And this path will convey you to this one, where I once lived with my comrades. Go when you like, you can return here.
Okay. Yeah, the ending of Okja is very kind of like, I'm going to get myself out of this situation, but I'm not going to change this situation or make it better for anyone else. I'm just going to remove myself, you know? And it's kind of, in a way, it's kind of a bit of a sad, it's kind of a bit of a bleak ending, to be honest. So, okay, you can come back here whenever you want. Well, Wow, that's much larger than I gave it credit for, to be honest. Oh, shift runs. Perfect. Well, let's check out the swan. So we've got colleagues. I can't imagine we're actually going to have colleagues, right? Cancel, begin. Okay. Begin!
You will not be able to witness the wonder of the other realms, but you will transit to the swan first.
Right, so the swan is like our Relto, I guess. Swan Soiree. Visit
Welcome
the swan for
to
the first
swan,
time.
where we gathered, talked, sang, learned, ate, laughed, shared. My memories of this place, so vivid, so wonderful, so peaceful. Till it was shattered. Lies are controlling, but comforting.
Be really lame if you were a keeper amongst other keepers who were like not terribly social, right? Keeper's Rest. Welcome to the Swan. You have earned the honor of resting. You require cycles of rest, as do all living things. Recharge for your purpose of keeping the realms. Converse with your comrades. Disport yourself with crafts, music, or frivolity. Find respite in your quarters. Acknowledge in the lights of the firmament above those who now sleep. Yet do not be overly focused on rest. The purpose of rest is to assist us in fulfilling our keeping with increased energy and renewed vigor. Do not concern yourself with fatuous dreams during rest. Dreams are not trustworthy, rational, or measurable. Dreams bring false thoughts from our subconscious that might distract us from our true conscious purpose. You are a keeper. Rest is a vital part of keeping. Appreciate the small rests until it is time for your deep sleep. From the Founders. Do you know what, guys? I have an inkling that the Founders maybe don't have our best interests at heart, you know? Let's have a read of this journal. Personal Maintenance Adjunct. Introduction. As a newly awakened keeper of the Firmament mission, you have been assigned a personal maintenance adjunct, which can be informally referred to as an adjunct. The adjunct is a miracle of modern mechanics and electronics. We've read this. Well, no need to worry about that then.
What were we before we were awakened? We were not allowed to ask.
So, I've entered from the blue one. Are all of these ages open to me immediately? It's the same book again. I have no one to share my agony with, and so I write. Words. How many have I learned, and even with such new ways to describe my feelings, I do not have any of these words left to express my sadness, my anger, my how did it all come to pass? The truth unbearable, the void, so boundless, so cold, so dark. I am struggling, grasping for understanding, comprehension. Turner, a dark power, a monster, even he, only a tool in such a dark objective and plan. How could such darkness be handed such power? Did he seek it? Did it seek him? Does it always seek such servants? Was I a servant myself? Am I like him? We were all the keepers of what? We were naive souls, nourished by lies, and then by his own dark power. How could he? How could I? I saved them. I lost them. I was compelled. But what now? What of me? Trapped, solitary. The burden of knowledge and deception steals my joy and my breath. My heart hurts inside of my chest. An emptiness of time stretches out before me, and there is only me left to fill this time. The loneliness. How does a human live with it? The truth, the lies, the confusion. How does a human know? I am adrift, floating to nowhere in my own agony. Is there hope? Will this plan save us? Can I save myself? I wish to rid myself of such beautiful deceit, but I wonder if such a desire is even possible. Signed M. The Keeper's Poem. Hang on, wait. Is this what we just read? No, this is new. Observe the firmament above, our waking lights shine bright, our comrades in the tapestry, O wondrous restful sight. The lights, the lights, the lights of wake, alive above our head. The dark, the dark, the dark of sleep, deep sleep we do not dread. The vault is ours to contemplate, a canvas of our lights, an ever coruscating web, the hallmark of our nights. The lights, the lights, the lights of wake, the keeping mission binds, the dark, the dark, the dark of sleep, the threshold clears our minds. The firmament, we know our tasks, the realms promise to keep. We pledge our waking hours to these until our time to sleep. The lights, the lights, the lights of wake, the realms are sore adored. The dark, the dark, the dark of sleep, we sleep to be restored. Some day the realms shall be fulfilled, arrivers shall draw nigh. They shall awaken the embrace, our destiny supply. Interesting that we've got a capitalized threshold and a capitalized waking, which is kind of interesting. The Keeper's Parable. In other realms that we cannot reach, there were other keepers who lived and worked together in happiness and harmony. The keepers contributed to the firmament mission and to the common good, and they shared happily the fruits of their labour. One day, a keeper awoke from the deep sleep with a new idea, a different idea, a troublesome idea. This troublesome keeper decided there could be a different way of doing things, a way he called more. This troublesome keeper tried to convince the other keepers that they could work for their own benefit rather than for the good of all. This troublesome keeper said that all could accumulate more, and having more could make them happier. At first the keepers were skeptical. Like all keepers before, they lived with reason and measurement, and they knew such a way of more seemed against reason and measurement. They asked where more would come from and how long it could continue. The troublesome keeper provided ridiculous answers, claiming that more could come from everywhere and would last forever. They laughed, but the troublesome keeper persisted. The persistence of the troublesome keeper wore down their thoughts of reason and measurement, and they became tempted by the promise of more. Gradually, the keepers embraced the idea of more. Their focus changed from keeping the realm to collecting the more. This seemed to make them happy at first. As time went on, they began consumed by more, and the realms began to suffer. The machinery began to break, and the crops began to die, and the animals became ill, and water became tainted, and the air became putrid. And the keepers also began to suffer. Some were sick, and some were hale, and some were hungry, and some were fat, and some were thirsty, and some were bathed, and some had none, and some had more. And those who had more began to look down on those who had less or none, as though such a thing were possible with reasonable keepers. These realms and these keepers were dying. In the midst of this chaos, a wise keeper remembered the faithful ways of keeping. The wise keeper spoke and mentored about the faithful ways of keeping the realms, healing and feeding and watering and caring for all, as comrades without more, but with fruits for all to share. And the wise keeper reminded them that this was the true way of reasonable and measured happiness, a happiness that could last and would be for all. And this faithful way of keeping would ensure the mission of keeping their realm, of keeping each other, could be sustained. The keepers of the realm were able to overcome the forces of more and return to the faithful ways of keeping. They learned to let go of any destructive thoughts of more and to embrace the mission of keeping the realms and keeping each other. And all the keepers once again lived and worked together in happiness and harmony. Do not be swayed from the faithful ways of keeping. Strive to be a wise keeper. Well, there we go. Not to get all political, guys. I'm sensing there might be a hidden message in this game somewhere. 0001. No, they're all 001. Ah, this is the Keeper's poem once again. This is a copy of the same book. Okay, I don't think there's anything else in here. Right, let's check out this side room. Remember the blue room. Oh, and there's also this area down here. Okay, we'll check out that side room in a second. So we've got painting and sculpting. And we've got measuring and apothecarying and drawing. Ooh, and tinkering. So these keepers were... It's kind of odd. So are these keepers like clones or something? So far, this has a very, very strong moon vibe about it.
The only difference between a heresy and the truth is time. I wonder, do you agree?
I don't think I would agree with that at all. I mean, like, it's certainly not the only difference. It's the same book again. We'll have a quick check through to see if there's any differences, but I doubt it. We answer, we know, we keep. Keep us together, our answers will provide. Maintain the firmament, keep. The firmament will prevail, keep us together. There is nothing we do not know. Yeah, sort of vaguely Soviet-style propaganda posters. So, what are we reckoning? What are our initial predictions? I think the people who run the Firmament project are probably not going to end up being the good guys. Do you reckon?
This is the threshold.
Where
we cross from wake to sleep. From sleep to wake. I put them all to sleep. It was very difficult.
Right, I'm assuming this is like euphemistically. Okay. So the other question then is, what's gone wrong? Why are we the only person
Time
left?
heals all wounds. I recently learned of that saying. Seems like a tonalization when the wounds of the seed are so fresh. I recently learned of that word. But indeed, time in the threshold heals all wounds. What mixed emotions I have about that.
It's certainly an intriguing mystery. I mean, maybe they've set it up such as to...
Oh, they prepared us well. They gave us everything we needed. They gave us life, hope, and purpose, and answers. And they gave us a name, the Keepers. Regardless, there are more important things. You must begin to prepare for the assembly. You must do things that have never been done before. You must do things that I can only imagine, and have even imagined for little of my life. I only wish I could see it. Awaken the embrace to prepare.
Okay. We need to awaken the embrace because we need to get ready for the awakening. Okay. Are these other worlds open to us? Looks like yes. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm assuming we don't have to do anything out here just yet. Oh, this closes behind you. Yeah, let's check out these other ages. Juleston Reservoir. Give it a go. It'll work. So is it kind of like Myst, where you can do the ages in any order?
Magically bridging the gap to its distant realms.
Well, this is definitely a different place. Visited Juleston for the first
realm.
time.
Be careful. Many were sent to deep sleep before their time.
Okay, so what do you reckon, guys? Should we just like check this place out, or should we go back to where we were before? I think we can just check this place out, right? At least until we get stuck. Let's go. We love a bit of sequence breaking. Now this is odd. So this is a reservoir, but I could have sworn they said that all of the fresh water came from the other age. All of the ice, the glacier. There is, of course, a very distinct possibility that we're not going to be able to make much progress here until we unlock some abilities of our adjunct.
How is it I could stare at this spire for my whole life and never wonder what was below? Because the box of the story we were told comforted and constrained us. The spire is important. You will return here to completely awaken the embrace.
Okay. I tell you what, I am doing my best to pay attention to the plot here, but it is confusing. Okay, we've got a door here that we can go through. Concatenated power 1 of 3. Right. So we need to power this up somehow. Oh, okay, we've got a thing over here. Reservoir water pump. Okay, so that's not turning on anyway. This area is really large. No power for the lift. Okay, okay. Kind of starting to get a sense of what it's corralling us to do. I have a sinking suspicion that we should probably go back to the Glacier Age and maybe do what is almost certainly intended to be the First Age first. So we're going to make our way back there. However, that's going to wrap us up for this first episode of Firmament. It's got a strong start, a real mysterious vibe, and I'm certainly keen to see where this plot's going to go. If you enjoyed this video, please do hit that like button, hit that subscribe button on this channel. If you're new to this channel, thank you for watching this first episode of Firmament. We play Myst-like games all the time here. We love first-person mystery puzzle games. So check out some of the other games we've played, and if you think that that's the sort of content you would like to watch more of, hit a subscribe. I will see you next week for episode 2. Bye for now.